Clash Royale. One of the most addicting mobile games in the market. It all begins from the satisfying moment you open your first chest or your first 3-crown game, even if it is in the first arena. I remember the very moment I first downloaded it on my phone. Almost all of my classmates at school and co-workers have played the game at one point, and I could not resist jumping into the trend and giving it a try. I was able to reach 3,000 trophies with ease before all the trophy inflation craze that happened after countless niggers joined the game. This happened because a fundraising charity company donated a fuck ton of mobile devices to the poorest areas in Africa. As I played more, my addiction towards Clash Royale grew. It became continuously more difficult to pry myself off the game. I went out less and less, and my social life got fucked over. This vicious cycle repeated over and over, until one day, something terrifying happened that frightened me out of the addiction. I had just gotten home after a stressful day at work. It was exhausting dealing with shitlib customers and annoying co-workers who nag at me practically the whole time. I was eager to hop online to relieve my stress, so I finally powered on my phone for the first time since my lunch break and opened Clash Royale. The familiar Supercell logo along with the bling sound effect was music to my ears, and I had heard the game intro music for probably the millionth time. Following that was the screen which read my trophy count, 6969. I was only 1 or 2 matches away from breaking 7,000 trophies, which marks the Champion League milestone. I was currently at my personal highest, so I was quite hesitant to play ranked matches for the past few days. I had been spending my game time on the casual 2v2 party modes. I decided that today was the day I finally continue pushing trophies again. The season was ending in 10 days, so I didn't have much more time. I slid the screen to the card panel to review my deck. My arsenal consisted of Executioner, Valkyrie, Tornado Spell, Zap, Golem, Skeleton Army, Tombstone, and Mini P.E.K.K.A. This has been my most successful deck in mid-ladder because of how versatile it is. After I confirmed my equipped deck's contents, I slid the screen back to the battle menu, and then reluctantly tapped the battle button. Instantly, a match was found. It was a level 11 player. I was level 14, so I was quite confident that I was going to win. Fast forward to the end of the match, I was disappointed to see that I lost the game. The player who was 3 levels below me 3-crowned me. I was dumbfounded and angry at my failure despite my glaring advantage. To put the cherry on the cake, he spammed the laugh emote like a faggot, so I rage quit. To blow off some steam, I did this very base thing, where I joined random clans that are under names containing tag words such as BLM or LGBTQ, and spammed the word nigger and the phrase God hates fags in the clan chats. Insulting niggers and faggots within Clash Royale is what keeps me away from throwing my phone across the room. I joined clan after clan, bullying these subhumans to my heart's desire. Hell, I never had to bother leaving the clans manually. The snowflakes would kick me out themselves almost immediately. After I was satisfied with my dose of cyberbullying, I decided that I was ready to play another ranked match. I was a lot more mentally stable ever since the embarrassing loss, so I was sure I wouldn't tilt. I again tapped the battle button. I was matched with a level 15 player named Floyd Royale. He was under a clan called the Niggies. I was surprised to see that it was one of the clans that I trolled, and I never noticed a player named Floyd Royale in it. I thought the clan turned out to be a group of based racists who were making fun of black niggers, so I began the match by giving the thumbs up emote to pay my respect. In response, he gave me the laughing taunt emote. After the 10 elixir mark was reached for both of us, I made the first move, placing an executioner at the back on the right side. In response, Floyd Royale placed a Hog Rider on the same side as my executioner. But the Hog Rider seemed a bit different than normal. Instead of the iconic Hog Rider voice you hear every time a Hog Rider is deployed, I heard Floyd Rider. Upon a close look at its sprite, I noticed that the so-called Hog Rider had huge lips and a much larger nose than normal. In addition, the hog sprite itself had the face of a fat 500-pound she-boon instead, resembling Breonna Taylor. The Floyd Rider troop skipped across the battle arena, until he reached my executioner and decimated him in a matter of seconds. The Floyd Rider had a ridiculously fast hit speed, rivaling that of the lumberjack. He then made his way to my right Princess Tower and began chipping away at it. Next, I quickly deployed a Valkyrie. The moment she landed on the battlefield, Floyd Ryder instantly turned his attention to her, despite already targeting my tower. It was strange because Clash Royale troops never change their target, unless they get stunned by a zap or electro wizard. Oh la la. I better smash that Valkyrie pussy and get that bitch pregnant. I heard the Floyd Ryder say aloud. It unsettled me to the core. In my line of Clash Royale experience, I've never heard an in-game troop say such an inappropriate phrase. The Floyd Ryder dismounted off his ride, and then raped the Valkyrie from the back until she turned into elixir completely. The Floyd Ryder then inhaled all the purple fluid, giving my opponent the elixir in question. Nice breathing in all that Valkyrie elixir. He cried, then remounted the hog and continued charging at my princess tower. With Big Floyd now easily having the elixir advantage because his Floyd Ryder troop has an elixir breathing ability, he initiated a large push. I watched as he deployed a Mega Knight along with a furnace building on his side. As most of us experienced Clash Royale players know, both the Mega Knight and the furnace are some of the lowest skill cards in the game, which only the lowest IQ nigger players overuse. Because I am a veteran who is using a deck specialized to counter those. I placed a tombstone at the center of my side of the area, and a mini P.E.K.K.A beside the Floyd Ryder right before he was about to finish chipping my tower, and shortly, it finished it off. The mini P.E.K.K.A then slaughtered the Mega Knight in only 5 hits, while he was distracted by my tombstone. I prepared a counter push by placing a golem a few blocks ahead of the mini P.E.K.K.A, and then an executioner. Because Big Floyd overcommit his last push, I easily eliminated all 3 of his towers, since he was unable to defend. I secured the 3-crown victory and spammed the hee 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 ha laughing king emote. I could tell he was seething, because he spammed the angry king emote in response. I left the match, happy that I beat an opponent who was using such an overpowered and low IQ deck. My celebration quickly turned into confusion when I realized how surreal it was to see the Floyd Ryder card. I didn't remember that card being added, despite me having been playing the game since beta. Maybe it was a card that was secretly added for the Black History Month update, I thought. To test my hypothesis, I slid to the card menu and scrolled to the very bottom to view the list of cards I currently haven't obtained. Displayed were 3 champion cards, Golden Knight, Archer Queen, and Skeleton King. I didn't see the Floyd Ryder card anywhere. Thereafter, my only rational explanation was that perhaps, the Floyd Ryder was some based card that a George Floyd memeing Supercell employee created, which was accidentally leaked to some users. The intense match got me mentally exhausted, so I decided it was time to go to sleep. I tucked myself in my blanket, then set my iPhone's alarm clock to 7 a.m. tomorrow. I was expecting to wake up to the super annoying default iOS alarm ring. However, I woke up to a sound that was completely different. I quickly checked my phone's time, which read 3 a.m., so it couldn't be from my alarm clock. Instead, it was a loud shrill voice coming from outside my house, through my bedroom window. At first, I didn't discern what exactly the voice said, but then, it repeated itself. Floyd Ryder was what I heard. I froze in place. My entire body began to sweat, soaking my bed sheets. Why the fuck was I hearing the Floyd Ryder in real life now? I thought. Frankly, I had just woken up from a 4-hour sleep episode, so I just shrugged it off to my imagination. However, when I jumped from my bed and peeked out of my bedroom window, what I saw contradicted this. I observed my quiet neighborhood and saw that everyone else's lights were off, but I saw a peculiar silhouette scampering towards my home's direction on the sidewalk. Its shape wasn't like that of a standard human being, it was way too composite. I squinted to get a more focused look at it and analyze it beyond its contour. When I scanned its specific colors and details, I got a near heart attack. It was an actual Floyd Ryder in real life. However, it no longer had a cartoon appearance. Instead, I saw a fat hideous nigger with the face of George Floyd holding a giant gun-shaped hammer, riding a giant ugly boar with Breonna Taylor's face. The duo was charging at my house as if it had one goal in mind, to destroy it. Me being a hardcore Clash Royale fan, I grabbed my limited edition Princess bow and arrow and began shooting at the Breonna Taylor hog, since it was a much easier to hit target. However, even though I shot it 20 times, my metal arrows did nothing since the Breonna Taylor hog's extremely thick fat rolls absorbed them all. I ran out of arrows, so I could no longer attempt shooting. The Floyd Rider eventually made it next to my home's front wall and began banging his hammer against it. I could hear cracks forming in my cement walls. It was only a matter of time before my entire home could collapse. With no means of physical defense, I needed a crafty way to prevent myself from having to pay a $3 million dollar bill because I don't have home insurance. Call me dumb for not having insurance, but I live in a nigger-free part of town, so I never thought I would ever need it. Although, what I do have is a gas chamber of my own in my basement, which I plan to eventually use as a Jew trap in the near future, so I decided that it was now my only source of stopping that nigger pig rider. As fast as I could, I went downstairs to my basement and extracted a sample of the gas into a vial, and then went back to my bedroom. I walked to the window and looked down. My front wall was now full of dents and holes. The Floyd Rider was now seconds away from demolishing it. This better work, I thought, as I poured the gas onto the ground which the Floyd Rider stood on, and I watched as it quickly diffused into the air. A lot of it moved into the Floyd Rider's nostrils, and he began coughing up a viscous purple liquid. "Oh fuck, poison spell, I can't breathe," he choked. Haw, positive elixir trade nigger," I said. The Floyd Rider along with the Breonna Taylor hog soon liquefied into more of that purple liquid. I was too afraid to touch it with my bare hands, so I scooped up a sample with my vial. Upon a closer look, I came to the realization that it was dark elixir. Please use this as a warning: if you ever match with George Floyd in a Clash Royale game, do not spam the laugh emote if you win, to avoid him sending a real Floyd Rider troop to destroy your house. Hell, just play it safe and let him win.